I thought they stuck out like a sore thumb tonight in tonight's competition. You saw a Houston Rockets team that is huge and physical and getting up in your jersey and beating you up on the glass and posting you up with Alperen Şengün and driving right into your face with Amen Thompson and just bringing this overwhelming physical element as they went into the champ's house on trophy night and came this close to beating them. And then you have the Thunder, who are down their second best player, shot 6 for 26 on unguarded catch and shoot jump shots. We'll talk more about that game in a minute. But they still win the game on the strength of an unbelievable second half from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as an offensive player, a dominant defensive effort, scrapping, forcing 24 turnovers, getting 26 points off of those turnovers. And then you go to the Warriors. They're up in the Lakers jersey from the opening tip. They're flying around in rotation. They're being physical. They're sharp in transition. Their stars are locked in and competing, and they're being physical. And then you see the Lakers, who, aside from Luka Doncic, I don't think they had a single player who won his matchup tonight. It just was incredibly disappointing. On the one hand, I'm not overly surprised. Those of you guys who listened to yesterday's show, I talked about how coming out of camp, the Lakers looked to me like a mediocre basketball team. They look like a good offense, not a great offense, and they look like a bad defense. Not an okay defense. They look like a bad defense all throughout camp. First of all, they offer no defensive pressure at all. There's nobody that they play against that they make uncomfortable. They're not in your jersey. They're not applying physicality. They're not bringing any of that intensity on that end of the floor at all. They're jogging back in transition and giving up lob dunks because no one's picking up the rim or no one's stopping the ball. They're getting back cut all over the floor because guys aren't paying attention to man and ball. It was so incredibly sloppy. You see so many things. We talked about swing factors, right? Like swing factors like Jimmy Butler scoring the basketball or Jonathan Kuminga making quality reads or knocking down catch and shoot jump shots. We're seeing, can DeAndre Ayton score on the roll? Well, he was catching in traffic and just getting stripped. Well, can Jared Vanderbilt provide some sort of offensive pop? Well, he still can't knock down a catch and shoot jump shot. And in the second half in particular was literally just like driving into the teeth of the defense and turning the ball over. He looked extremely limited. Marcus Smart, there's like, it was kind of funny watching the antics contest between Marcus Smart and Draymond Green throughout the game. But like, Marcus can't knock down an open catch and shoot shot. And he's not doing enough on the ball defensively to really disrupt high-level ball handlers. That's something I've seen throughout all preseason. It's depressing, man. I saw my friend Damon Rangula talking about how LeBron looked disengaged on the sideline. I don't know. Like, this has the potential to get ugly here. Now, the schedule gets lighter. They have Minnesota on Friday. But then after that, the next 13 games are pretty light on what we would consider to be top-tier championship contenders. I think Oklahoma City, they play Minnesota again, and then they have Oklahoma City on the road. But other than that, they're playing a bunch of middle-tier and bottom-tier teams. And so maybe they'll be able to pull this together, and they'll be able to get some wins. And there's a huge upside, which is Luka. Like, I want to be clear, like, that what we saw from Luka tonight, we never even came remotely close to seeing that last year. Not even a little bit. He never moved like that. He never had that like consistent downhill pressure. The short range shot making, that's something I had my eye on in preseason. He was 1 for 7 on floaters and mid-range jump shots in preseason. He had to hit like 8 or 9 of them today. He was cooking the Warriors from the short to mid-range. Throw in the crazy kickouts. Still has no roll man chemistry with Ayton on the lobs. He's got to figure that piece out. It's so much more natural with him, with Jackson Hayes. That's something that him and Ayton are going to have to figure out. But like, Luka was amazing. And that's your big silver lining that you try to pull away from this, is if you can right the ship with some of these other guys on the roster, you have the dude that I think is the second best basketball player in the world on your team. And so there's a whole lot of upside with Luka and what he brings to the table. But beyond that, it was just an incredibly disappointing debut for the Lakers, above and beyond anything having to do with individual talent. There's some talent limitations here. I don't expect Rui to be able to post up Draymond or Jimmy Butler without turning the ball over or fumbling it away. The Warriors in general are a swarming team that are going to cause some issues for some of the lesser offensive players for the Lakers. I don't necessarily expect them to be a team that's going to be dominant defensively, but they just also don't look sharp. And we talked about this yesterday, but like if you're already a step slow athletically, you can't also be a step slow mentally. You have to be ahead of things with your reads on defense. You have to be ahead of things with your execution on defense because you're already giving up an inch in the form of the athleticism advantage that the opponent's going to have most nights. That definitely not an inspiring debut from the Lakers. But again, Luka looks amazing. I thought Luka was really good on defense for the most part. He got cooked by Jimmy on that last possession, but I thought his rotations were sharp. He had some help side plays at the rim where he got blocks, so deflections or good contests. He had like a post-up stop against Al Horford. He had a really nice ISO stop against Steph along the left wing late in the game when the Lakers were going on their run. A lot of really impressive stuff from Luka, and then just all bad down the list from there. Austin has kind of become a player that can struggle against physical, swarming, athletic defenses. I thought Austin struggled throughout the night. He just seemed like he was over penetrating and getting swarmed and not finding easy kick out reads. His shot making wasn't there the way it usually was. Shot making wasn't there in preseason either, especially from the 3-point line. But like, again, once you get off Luka, a lot of depressing on the Lakers front. Again, we'll have more thoughts on this as we get. I'm going to watch both of these games again tomorrow morning. So if I have any additional takeaways from there, I'll share them in tomorrow night's show. But that's all I have on the Lakers Warriors from now.